This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so this is the demo of Oracle 19c Data Guard Administration. As we know that we required high availability infrastructure in our production database. So in that we have one concept that is data guard and another concept is RAG. So right now I'm talking about data guard administration. So data guard is basically a components or you can say feature in Oracle DB Track, and this feature comes with Oracle Enterprise Edition. There is no additional license required for these components, so you can easily configure a data guard in your production database. So what topics I will cover? First I will tell you, and after that I will tell a little bit about the data guard actually. Okay, so the first thing is that these Oracle VirtualBox installation, because I use Oracle VirtualBox, which is the Oracle product. So I prefer to do the practicals on VirtualBox. So in that I will install VirtualBox, and after that I will create virtual machine, and then there are some modification required in virtual machine to start the operating system installation. And I will use Oracle Enterprise Linux 7.5 as a operating system, so that I will tell you how to install it, and then I will show you how to install the 19c software binaries, and then I will show you how to create a database using DBCA, and then I will tell you about the Oracle database architecture. So these seven topics actually I have added in my all workshops, whatever I am starting, like backup and recovery, CDB, PDB, and this data guard. And after that, I will tell you about the Oracle data guard introduction. In that, I will tell you what is data guard, what are the types of data guard, and what are the role actually, and that, and there are so many other things. And we know that in data guard, redo data is transferred through net. So what is the role of net services in data guard, that I will cover in this topic. And after that, how to create physical standby data guard, so that I will show you practically. And nowadays, everybody is using a physical standby. And after that, how to manage physical standby database if you are facing any problem in that. And then second option or second category or types is snapshot standby database creation. So for snapshot standby, the condition is that you should have physical standby, and then from physical standby I will convert into snapshot standby, and after that development team will do the R&D on the standby database, and then we roll back and again move to physical standby. So whatever the things the development team had done, it will roll back, and it will uh, connect with the production, and it will apply the redo actually. So this is the work of a snapshot standby, and how to manage snapshot standby, that I will show you. And the third one, logical standby data guard creation. Nowadays, these types of data standby is not using, but when you are doing upgrade, so in that you can use this logical standby. and after that how to monitor data guard configurations, what are the views, what are the queries to monitor the data guard and configuration, so that I will show you. And the next topic is configuration data protection mode. So as we know that we have three types of protection: performance, availability, and protection. So that I will tell you. And after that, role transition. So in that we had switch over and fail over. So we will see how practically we can do that. And then active data guard is the concept which actually introduced, and it is required separate license. And what is active data guard, how to configure active data guard, how to manage active data guard. So this I will cover. And after that, what is the role of flashback database in Oracle data guard, that I will cover, and practically I will show you. And the last one is troubleshooting data guard issues. So what are the issues we can face in data guard? Practically we will see, and how to solve it we will see practically. So these are the topics I will cover in this 30-hour workshop. And this workshop I will take 3 days a week. Okay, so now morning batch is going on, and we are just about to start introduction to data guard. And now I am planning to start evening batch. So this is the demo of evening batch. And if you want to, suppose according to your shift you are not able to join evening batch, so you can join morning batch also. So you have two options: either you can join morning or either you can join evening. And the third option is, if you are not attending any sessions, so you have the option of to view the recording. So every session will be recorded and it will upload on Google Drive, but you cannot download it. Okay, so there is no limit for that watching the views. You can watch as many as you can. So this is all about. Any questions, guys? How many years of experience you have, guys? And is your in production environment, are you using data guard? Have you worked on data guard? You can reply in chat. Okay, no issues. So this is the diagram of Oracle data guard architecture. So as you can see that primary side you had a production, and standby side you had a database copy. So whenever you are configuring a standby database, or you can say data guard, you required two virtual machines. On one virtual machines you will configure production, and on second virtual machine you will configure the replica or the copy of the production. But the difference is that you will establish a connection between primary database with standby database through network services, and your redo data will transfer and apply on the standby. So database standby database is, you can say, a updated copy of your production database where it will receive the redo data and it will apply the redo data on the standby, so that if suppose your production database crash or fails or not available, so you have the time to recover it, and before recovering the production you can enable standby as a production, and downtime is very less. So that's why we prefer, or client prefer, to use data guard in their environment. So this is the data guard. Okay. And as I said, types of standby database. So we have three types. One is physical, second one is logical, then third one is snapshot standby. So physical is basically identical copy of the primary database on block to block basis, and it will synchronize through the application of redo data received from the database, primary database, and it can be used for reporting purpose, it can be used for data protection purpose, it can be used for backup and recover backup purpose. So there are many ways you can use a standby, and redo will apply through redo entries, and archive redo log file uh, will play an ARCN process will play an important role in that, and there are some other process also involved in that we will see later. And logical is standby is not a block to block basis copy. It is basically synchronized with the help of SQL statement. So in that, redo data received from the primary database into SQL statement, and then it will apply the SQL statement on the logical standby side, and it can also be used for data protection, reporting, and database upgrade. Okay, so these are the main two types of standby database. And third, snapshot standby database is basically you can configure after converting from a physical standby. So for this type of a snapshot database, you must have physical standby, and it can also be used for updates, but that updates will be discarded when you are converting back from snapshot to physical standby. So this can be used for testing purpose only. So in my last organization, I do this activity frequently to convert physical standby to snapshot and then give it to my development team, and they will do the testing of the required actually production environment. So data guard physical standby will fulfill their requirement, and when they did the test, and then I will convert to back, and then whatever the changes happen it will roll back actually. So this is the third type of a standby database. And types of data guard services. So we have role transport services, we have apply services, we have role management services. So all these services we will see in the session. And role transition, basically we had two concepts, switch over and failover. So switch over basically a plan activity where we will use to upgrade OS, or we want to do hardware maintenance. So that time we make production as a standby, and standby make as a production, and then we do the maintenance task on production previously running the database which it was in production mode actually. So failover is unplanned activity. Suddenly anything happened on your production database and your production database crash, and you will quickly convert standby database as a production, so that client cannot wait for their work actually, and meanwhile you will recover the previous production database which was failed. Okay, so that is failover. And this is the data guard architecture, where you had primary database and redo buffer, and you have NSSN process or TTNN process which transfer the redo data from redo buffer, and RFSN process will receive the redo data and it will store into the standby redo logs, and then it archived, and then it will apply to by a MRP or LSP process to standby. MRP process will be used in physical standby, LSP process will be used in standby. So you had the option, either you directly apply to the standby, or either you have to archive first and then apply. And same way on production side, you want to store on online redo log file first, and then archive, and from archive you will apply. So these are the mechanism which we can use. So these are the process involved in that. And again, this primary database processes architecture. And if you go for a standby database architecture, so RFS and MRP or LSP process involved in that. And redo apply architecture in physical standby, you can see in the diagram redo is transferring, and after that it is applying on a standby database. And if you will go for logical standby, so your redo data is coming in the form of SQL statement, and then your SQL statement will apply on the standby. So this is the one line difference between logical standby and physical standby. Clear? And automatic gap detection and resolution. So ARCN process will actually do the automatic gap detection and resolution. So this concept is also we will see in this workshop. And then data protection mode. So as I said, we had three types of protection. One is maximum protection, second is maximum availability, and third one is maximum performance. So maximum performance is the default one, and you want to convert into maximum availability, so you by command you can do that. If you want to convert in maximum production, so you can convert by one command into protection mode. So these things we will see in the session. And then data guard and OS requirement. So Oracle recommend that you should use same type of architecture or system, like CPU wise, operating system binaries wise, Oracle database binaries wise, you can use it same, but you can use different also. But there is no meaning to use different architecture, because suppose if you are doing switch over or failover, so on that time how you will manage. So that's why I recommend to use same type of architecture for both databases. Okay, so the same release of Oracle Database Enterprise Edition must be installed. Okay, for all database, and if you are using ASM, so both should be ASM. If you are using OMF, so both should be the same combination. Okay, and you can use ASM or OMF also. uh, Combinedly you can use for data guard software. And what are the benefits to implement Oracle Data Guard. So first benefit is you want to provide continuous service to your client. So that is the first benefit you will get, and you want to give the protection against corruption and data loss, so that you can give, because on a standby side you can delay the redo apply mechanism by using delay attribute in log archive dest parameter. And you had centralized management for your client data, and you can give business protection if suppose any failure happens, so you can recover as soon as possible, and your client will not wait for your database availability. Okay, so these are the benefits which we get. So that's it from my side for today's demo. If you have any questions, you can ask. Days and timing, I already told that we do 3 days a week. Okay, 3 days a week, and timing is evening. Okay, that is 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Okay, it depends. So if suppose I'm doing Monday, then Wednesday, and then Friday. So these are the slots for available right now. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I will go with the 9 p.m. slot. Okay, and morning also I am taking 7 a.m., and it is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So in morning also we are about to start just introduction data guard. So next coming Tuesday I will start the topic of data guard introduction. So that is, yes guys. Anything else you want to ask? Those who join late, so let me show you again the topic. So these are the topics, almost 22 topics I will cover in my workshop, and nobody is giving live training in data guard in the market, in online. Okay, so if you are interested to join this workshop, you can connect on this WhatsApp number 9648108988. My team will reply. Okay, so you can WhatsApp, or if you are in the WhatsApp group already, which is specifically for data guard, so you can message in that group also. And fees is very nominal. Nobody is giving this workshop in that fees. Okay, so yeah, any question guys? I can enable the mic, and you can speak if you want.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Rafi this side.
Yes, good morning, Rafi.
Sir, I have a doubt related to the protection modes. We have maximum protection, performance, and availability, right, sir?
Sorry.
I have a query related to the protection modes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum performance, protection, and availability.
Mm.
What is the major difference between these three, sir?
We will see in the session. The major difference is that if you want to, by default, it is performance mode. So if you want no protection for your data, only you want to consider performance mode. So by default, it will see only the performance mode. So in that, your production will not wait for the confirmation of the standby. whether redo data is applied or not. It will do the commit and do the transaction on production, right? So this is performance mode. And if you are using production mode, in that your production database will wait for the confirmation from the standby that redo data is applied in any of the standby database, then it will go to next transaction. So that's why your production will wait for that. Okay, so that is the production mode, and your database will wait actually. So that is so it depends your client requirement, whether you want performance or whether you want protection. And suppose it is not applying, so your production will be down. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Good for now, sir.
Yeah, guys. Any other questions? Say yes or no in chat box. If you don't have any questions, then I'm stopping the demo. Because after this demo at 9 a.m. I had Golden Gate demo also, and in the night I had backup and recovery demo, and one of my trainer also presenting SQL language demo at 8 p.m. So if you guys are interested, you can join these demos also. So thank you very much. I am stopping the recording.